The face of the national game is changing. For too long, women's rugby's lingered in the background. But as we enter a new era of fully paid professional female players, a Super Rugby competition of their own, consistent TV time, increased media coverage and sponsorship dollars, and a World Cup on home soil, are we in New Zealand ready to fully embrace women's rugby? "15 years after her international debut, Kendra Coxedge is finally a fully professional rugby player.
It's come a long way. It's taken its time. It's been a long time coming, and I'm not afraid to say that. It's something that we should have been doing years ago. But it's great that it's happened, and to be part of even just the quality of the game.
50 women now earn a proper living playing 15s or 7s, and many more will be paid to play in Super Rugby Aotearoa. It's not a full-time comp and it only lasts 4 weeks, but after decades of the same conversations, it's a start.
It's progressing. It's not as if we've been static and stationary and nothing happened. Like when I started, there was no money at all. There was no support. You got together for 2 days.
That pace of change has been slow, and it left the 5-time World Cup winning Black Ferns exposed. The new contracts were planned well before last year's Northern Tour. However, they will create big discrepancies within the player pool, which is why there's caution around Aotearoa going too big, too soon.
It's a lot to ask of people, and they're going to be playing against professional athletes who are expected to go out and win a World Cup in about 4 or 5 months. So it's quite a dynamic and quite a spread of talent that we're trying to match. We've got players in there who are obviously full-time studying, but the vast majority have got jobs or commitments outside of rugby that they have to keep going. So the way in which we did it was always key. So we have really restricted the ability to assemble those teams. It sounds harsh, but it was so that we could get that balance.
There's awareness too that simply throwing money at the issues doesn't solve everything, and the women's game needs support at every level, from pathways to facilities to kit that fits.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of things that still need to improve. You can't just, as you said, chuck a full-time contract into it. There's a lot in terms of resource still. I think that needs to come alongside it. And I'm just sitting there this week training with the group with majority of the Matatu girls, and you kind of see like the Crusaders come out, and they've got this entourage, this big group, and we've just got like our S&C plus some, plus the skills coach, and it's fine. But I think as the game grows, we're going to need more resource in that space, and we do have access to that now. But it's probably more of a full-time rather than just to fill a gap.
It seems it's a global gripe, with the English women's rugby team facing the same fight for fair treatment.
Easy as you like for Kildun. New Zealand absolutely stretched.
It's almost a frustration I even have to talk about it, but they've been focusing on making sure they get the same boot allocation as the men, the same support around facilities, the travel and all that side of it. And we've had conditions that require that, because they're written exactly the same in the different collectives and contracts. The difference is actually implementing it at the coalface. We've struggled a little bit there. Rightly or wrongly, the Women's 15 program still seems to not quite get the same level of energy and focus around kit and travel and accommodation and the likes.
The most urgent issue, I think it's more the amount of high calibre games that we're playing. Our Black Ferns went away overseas, and they went away on the back of no internationals. The Auckland girls had only had 3 or 4 FPC games in the last 12 months and 1 super game. And it's hard to get better when you're not playing that type of standard.
World Rugby's new Women's XV Global Comp will bring matches, but for smart, passionate groups of wahine organising to fight their corner, there are things that still rankle. No professional female head coaches. Seats at the decision-making table remain rare.
I would like us to make rugby at all levels more welcoming. I'd like us to be serious about, if we're serious about diversity and inclusion, are we resourcing it? I'd like there to be diversity at all different levels, so that if you can see somebody, what's that whole saying? If you can see her, you can be her. But I think that's like in the board, as coaches, as referees, but we've got to make the environment something that people who are busy and women who are busy, who have children, feel that they can bring their whole selves, that they don't have to change into a female version of a male rugby player to do that. So that's going to take more of a culture shift.
NZR's strategy for 2022 has women and girls at its forefront. Talk to any woman, from grassroots to the global stage, and all they've ever wanted is inclusion. For them, it's about respect.